Hey y'all, so I wanted to make another video real quick for my divine feminines or just women in general because you could something from this video could resonate with you and help you in your life. But I'm just speaking from my point of view. But like I said, something can still resonate in this video for you. So please feel free to watch it. Like it's for everybody. But I'm gonna say divine feminines because they'll understand what I'm saying. For people who have experienced spiritual awakenings and for people who are in soul connections. I've been talking about those openly on my YouTube channel about my twin flame, which is a sensitive subject for me. And I spoke to y'all about ending a karmic cycle. Okay, a karmic cycle is just something that has been generational or something that you've been repeating your whole life, like a negative pattern. It could be a relationship. It could be things you've been doing negatively in your life that has been affecting you. It could be addiction. It could be narcissism. It can be anything. You can be in any type of karmic cycle that could be generational. I just want to throw that out there. But my karmic cycle was dating people who treated me well. Not basically. I'm not going to even say that. My karmic cycle was not having enough self-love and respect for myself to be in a healthy relationship because I never seen it or experienced it, and because of other things that affected me when I was younger, when I had low self-esteem or whatever. But I realized my faults and where I was falling short and how I had been damaging myself in my life, and I decided to make a change. Okay, remind you, I also spoke to y'all about my twin flame, that I met my twin flame or whatever, and we were separated. Well, we still are physically, but we recently reconnected, and I ended the cycle or whatever. I stood in my power, and I stood up for myself, and I removed myself from the situation. A twin flame connection is something that's very intense. Y'all are basically duality. Um, hmm, how should I explain this? Y'all are basically the yin and the yang. A divine feminine is basically a divine female energy from God, and a divine masculine is divine masculine energy from God within a person. A divine feminine and a divine masculine together complete the yin and the yang, like the circle of life. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So basically, I manifested my divine counterpart because I didn't know much about manifestation then, and I wasn't asking for him on a specific time, but like I said, I didn't know much about manifestation, so I was just in my car, and I was just asking God, I want to meet the person that you created me to be with. I want to meet my I didn't say divine counterpart, but I was just like, I want to meet the person you created me to be with, my perfect match or whatever. And it was a full moon, so I asked for that, and then boom, I met my twin flame 2 weeks later. That was in November of 2008. And I wasn't at this point of my journey, so I didn't know much about manifestation and how all of this works. So I met him, but neither one of us were prepared at the time, so it was just a hot mess. And if you know about a twin flame journey, you know exactly what I mean. Like, it's stages to it. It's things that y'all have to go through, but y'all go through that for a reason, so that y'all can shed the light on the dark parts of each other so that they can be corrected, because y'all are naturally drawn to each other. So it's like you're going to try to work on those things because you want that person in your life. So to sum all that up, when I ended the karmic cycle, it sparked um, inspiration in my masculine to do better. So of course, that's my divine counterpart. It's my true love. And so he reached out to me, and we're back in communication, and we're doing much better, and we're agreeing to work together. And I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I'm just learning to have more faith in God, that he will guide us down the right path, and that he will guide me down the right path to make the right decisions, to hold myself in a position to make things flow the way that they're meant to flow, because as divine feminines, we are the leaders. And I know a lot of people like to say it's a man's world. You know, women are supposed to follow the men, but in reality, I don't think that's the case. Because I'm gonna just say, like, life comes from us. We are the women that birth life. So to me, naturally, that's just how it goes. Like, you learn from your mother, which is a woman. You learn from your father too. Don't get me wrong, but your father gets life from a woman. So I'm not going. That's not the point. That's not what I'm trying to say. So basically, ladies, what I want to say, what I want to emphasize to y'all, if you want your relationship to go in a more positive direction, if you want someone to respect you the way that you deserve to be respected, if you want to be treated the way that you deserve to be treated, you have to first start with yourself. You have to first lead by example, by the things that you want from your person. And I mean, some people, they might meet a man or their counterpart that's already developed and got their shit together, like Sierra husband and Chance the Rapper, you know. But I don't even know their story. I don't know how those men got to where they are. But from the outside, it looked like they basically already had their shit together. Okay, kudos to them, you know. But I don't think that it's a whole lot of men out here that's like that. No offense to y'all, but I'm just being real about it. Like, to me, men kind of develop a little bit slower mentally. Not saying that y'all are slow, like y'all aren't capable, but y'all have masculine energy, which means y'all aren't really in touch with your feelings that much, and you need help with that. So that's where we step in and we help y'all to get more in touch with that. So I'm learning to be less codependent on my masculine, because that was a major problem. Like, if we weren't good, then I wasn't good, or I was always constantly worried about what he doing or where he at and all this other stuff. Not to say I want to control him or be jealous, but just because I was obsessed. And it's like, I still feel that way toward him. Like, it's a strong magnetic pull or whatever, but I'm not letting it run my brain to the point where I can't focus on other things, you know. And I'm also being more vocal about what I want and what I will not accept, you know, and stuff like that. But you can't be necessarily, it doesn't mean you're afraid of the person. You can't be afraid to know that you can walk away whenever you want to, even though the love is really strong and it's really intense, you know, and you really want that person in your life. You still have to be mindful of what you deserve and stand in your power. And I had lost all hope. You know, I surrendered to God. I was like, I know it's not going to work. I give up. Like, fuck it. I'm done. But that is when things began to change, when I surrendered to God and I started focusing more on myself. Then He moved with me. When I elevated on my journey, on my evolution, He elevated on His evolution. So I just want to say to y'all, you have to stand strong in your power regardless. You can't let anything hold you down and let you stop you on your journey and fulfilling your purpose. Whether it's your masculine, whether it's life itself, any of that, you have to remember and have tunnel vision and know that you're okay, that you are protected, and that God has your back. And then everything else will fall into place. Because, like I said, now we're working together, we're taking things slower, and we communicate way better. And I just feel within, like, you know, if you are in a twin flame journey or a soul connection, you know, like, the vibration is a lot more calmer now. Like, what I wanted is manifesting, because I stepped in my power and I decided to make necessary changes in my life. And now we're working together to move forward. But if you don't have your shit together, if you're not standing in your power, you cannot expect for your masculine to respect you the way that you deserve to be treated, because people are going to treat you how you present yourself. Basically, you teach people how to treat you, and that's in all aspects of life. So I just wanted to be mindful of that. I also realized something else. People who have been on a spiritual journey or whatever, a lot of times we experience abandonment issues, um, because of when you go through a spiritual awakening, it becomes like during the time, everything around you changes, and it's scary. People don't really understand what you go through when you go through a spiritual awakening. Like, you lose everyone, everything is totally different, your whole paradigm is shifted. Like, that can create a whole lot of anxiety because you've been knowing life one way for so long, and then boom, everything just starts changing all around you. And I realized a lot of my codependency and anxiety came from that, because for like 2 years I felt completely alone on the earth. Like, I had people all around me, but I felt so alone because my mind was shifting. I was growing spiritually, but I didn't know that. I didn't know what was going on. I just know I attracted a whole lot of anxiety, and I lost a lot of people, and it changed me. It changed me forever. Once you go through traumatic shit like that, you can never be the same after. And even though it was for a good purpose, it still was something traumatic. And so just don't be so hard on yourself, because it's not you. We go through a lot of things, mentally and internally. Rather, it's things that people can't see. You know what you go through mentally, and you know what you experience within yourself, especially if you are a spiritual being and you have been through a spiritual awakening. So you just, like I said the other night, I got triggered about that. One of my abandonment issues, it came to my head. It's like, why are you freaking out right now? And I realized it started from that, because when I was younger, I didn't have anxiety like that. It wasn't to this point. Like, I've gotten better, but it got to a point where it was horrible when I was in the midst of my spiritual awakening. And I still have anxiety now, but like I said, it's not to that degree. But I do have a slight codependency issue, and I do have anxiety at times, but I'm working on those things. But healing takes time, it's a process. But those things came, well, they intensified because of my spiritual awakening. And I realized that, like, that was really hard. When I went through that spiritual awakening, those were a hard few years for me. And I'm still recovering from that. I lost all my friends. And like I said, life just changed for me. I looked at everything so different. You see things on a different level. You see people for who they really are. You see the world for how fucked up it is. I'm sorry to say, like, but it's so mean people, the government and how they treat us, and slavery and how all of this came about, and why my people are in the situation that they are in. It created a lot of anxiety for me. That's what I mean when I said the world is fucked up. Like, the matrix is fucked up. I'll say that. Like, the people that control everything, they're like, I'm not gonna even get into that. It's not important. But I just wanted to clarify why I said the world is fucked up. Like, I don't think it's a lot of bad people. It is some bad people out here on earth, but I'm saying I don't I don't look at it so much as like it's helpless or hopeless or whatever, but it's a lot of fucked up people on earth too, is what I'm saying. And as an empath, as a divine feminine, you have to protect your energy, or it will overcome you and you will have crazy anxiety. So what I'm working on now is ways to protect my energy, because like I soak up everyone's energy regardless of if I try to or not. So if I receive hate or negativity, I'm learning how to block it out, and it's a process, because you don't want all those energies to be stuck to you or whatever. But to my divine feminine, to my women, to my masculine, protect your energy and really work on becoming stronger. Realize your thought patterns, break down your traumas, things that you've been through, why you do certain things that you don't like. Break down, what has happened and why you do those things that you need to heal, basically. Really be mindful of those things, because you can't move forward on your journey until you heal and you fix those things and you be mindful of who you are and what's going on around you. Then you can navigate through this thing better, because like I said, once you have a spiritual awakening, you get to a certain point, you can't really go backwards. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unlearn what you've learned. And so you don't want to be out here awakened and afraid and lost, because that's the worst thing, you know. And you want to fulfill your purpose, because God believed in you for a reason, to awaken you. Like he chose you. So to fulfill your purpose, you might as well, because like I said, you can't go back anyway. Just make sure you take care of yourself, y'all. It's really, really important. And it's important that as divine feminines and divine masculines, we come more together. Once you heal yourself, you can help heal your masculine, and he can get stronger to heal himself, and y'all can come together, which we are meant to do to raise the vibration of the planet. We have to get in alignment and get our shit together, y'all, so that we can fulfill our purpose, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel like we need to get our shit together, and that things need to happen now. We need to start working on it now, so that we can help heal this world that we live in while we still can. So I just wanted to let y'all know about that. That's all I'm gonna say on that subject. Don't forget to like this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll start making more videos dedicated to my divine feminines and people who are going through spiritual awakenings, because I feel like a lot of times we need advice, and a lot of times we don't know what to do, because I didn't really have anyone to teach me anything on my journey. And like, I feel like I could be further than I am now, which, I mean, it's fine. It's not a race or nothing like that, but things could have been a lot easier. I could have gotten rid of a lot more anxiety if I had advice earlier in my spiritual awakening. So that's why I wanted to make this video for y'all. But I love y'all, and again, like this video so that it can circulate throughout YouTube, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace and blessings.